Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today I want to talk about some very, very interesting information surrounding Rekkles and his return to Fnatic. Yes, we do know that the man is returning home to his former organization of a couple different stints now. But Alejandro Gomes did put out this very, very interesting piece of just how we got here, and I did want to go over this. This is from Blix.gg, where he is writing right now. And, you know, he says, hey, Rekkles, his move to Fnatic has been reported by LEC Wooloo, but what was the reason for this deal? Fnatic was missing an AD carry to compete their roster this offseason. As we said before, Razork was going to stay after Fnatic couldn't get El Yoya. Exakick and Karzi were among the possible AD carry options for Fnatic. Rekkles was not among these candidates because the player from Sweden had a buyout, which was later eliminated. However, Fnatic was still exploring this option. So they wanted Exakick, they wanted Karzi. Exakick decided on November 7th that he was not going to play for Fnatic. He went to SK, but at the time he was maybe considering Mad Lions as well. But again, this was a guy who Fnatic really, really wanted, and he actually ends up choosing SK over them, which is pretty interesting because, you know, SK versus Fnatic, hey, the fact that he chooses SK, that's kind of a big deal. There must be something going on there. But then Fnatic still had their backup plan, Karzi. And Karzi's option seemed the most viable for Fnatic, and they were working on getting a trade done with Vitality to trade Karzi for Upset. So obviously, you know, Vitality was going to end up with Upset. Fnatic was going to end up with Karzi. Everyone was going to be happy. They're both going to have 80 carries. In this agreement, Team Vitality was going to sell Karzi and would have had to add money on top to get Upset, obviously because Upset is a better, more valuable player than Karzi right now. But on the other hand, there was another option to trade Karzi for Kaiser with Mad Lions. Some information ended up getting leaked, and finally Vitality accepted this trade of Karzi for Kaiser. For this deal, Vitality paid a reasonable amount of money on top, between 75 and 160,000 euros, and transferred Karzi to Mad Lions. This deal ended up happening after Karzi agreed. So now Vitality and Fnatic still didn't have 80 carries. Mad Lions was going to be looking for a new support. You know, we had a ton of teams still with holes in their rosters, but Rekkles had a buyout, and the buyout kind of differed depending on the different offers and where and when they happened and all this stuff. But finally, the big thing here, things changed due to the difficulty of finding an agreement with a club on November 7th. K-Corp and Rekkles reached a deal to facilitate the player's departure at his own will. Now, I don't know what that deal was. I don't even know what that deal means. You know, what did Rekkles have to give up in return for being able to leave on his own? I don't know, but they discussed and found a solution to let him become a free agent. Now, once he was a free agent, obviously way more teams were able to be interested because he didn't have a big buyout hanging over his head all of a sudden. And these teams were Fnatic, Mad Lions, Vitality, and Evil Geniuses, which is very, very spicy. You know, an NA team throwing their hat into the ring there. But like we just said, Mad Lions, they already had an 80 carry. They just traded for Karzi. So Mad Lions was actually looking at Rekkles as a potential support option, but we did have Fnatic, Vitality, and EG all looking at him as a potential 80 carry option because they're all still needing 80 carries. Obviously, EG with Danny being gone and maybe not wanting to commit to Cowrie. Vitality, because they didn't have an 80 carry. They weren't able to get Upset from Fnatic at that time, at least, and then Fnatic not having an 80 carry because they were looking to move on from Upset. Upset and them both wanted to split, but now without a buyout and just as a free agent, Rekkles would be able to go wherever he wanted, and obviously that ended up making Fnatic one of his top choices, and that is how he ends up at Fnatic. So again, I don't know exactly what deal K-Corp and Rekkles worked out with each other, but K-Corp were willing to let go of him without a buyout. That doesn't mean they didn't get something in return, either from Rekkles' end or you know, in his contract, or who knows exactly what went down. It's not super specific here, but you know, K-Corp did have an opportunity and a chance to keep him in contract jail, but they've decided to, I think, do the right thing and let Rekkles walk because, again, Rekkles did do a lot for that team over this past year, even taking a chance on playing with them in the first place, also winning an EU Masters title, you know, probably selling a bunch of merch, adding a bunch of publicity, sponsorships, all that craziness. Yes, K-Corp did pay a hefty price for all that and their buyout from G2 and his salary and everything, but you know, I don't think you want the bad publicity of keeping him in contract jail when you're not even an LEC team. But yeah, pretty cool from K-Corp and the guys over there overall, and they definitely helped, you know, facilitate the move of Fnatic back to, or Rekkles back to Fnatic, back to the LEC, which is a good thing overall. But man, this whole story was very crazy, and it all went down over just the past couple of days. So I wanted to share this with you guys. But that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.